Ladies and gentlemen, September 2023 is a big month for us here at Stand Up Cat C. On the 14th of September, catch us at Mets with the Unfiltered 5. All of the links will be in the description below. On the 21st, catch us with Comedy at Kampai featuring Son from the USA. On the 22nd, we have Wacky Weinstone featuring Shannon Hobblesberger, ex-beauty queen turned massive female jester. And right at the end of the month, right back here as normal, the fast and the funniest on the Friday the 29th. See you all there. Tickets in the link below. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another episode of the Unfiltered podcast. Pathological truth-seeking is the aim, and comedy and laughter, always the game. I'm here once again on the sofa with Dan Raj, NS Young, and of course my name is Jerry Hines. Something quite ridiculous that we've come across is vegan horse riding. This actually makes me feel quite violent. Watch this.
Vegan horse riding championship in Finland goes viral. The sport doesn't involve any actual horses. Instead, players ride a stick with a toy horse head, prance around with their own human legs, and even jump over barriers. The sport is officially called hobby horsing, with about 1,500 people competing in it from all over the world.
Now, the thing about that is, the participants seem to be smiling. So they're having a good time. That's why I feel guilty for feeling so aggressive. Why is that so annoying?
No, because these vegans.
I think that's the first problem, right? Actually, it's not really vegan horse riding, right? It's hobby horsing.
Hobby horse.
You know, that makes it worse. I mean, hobby horse. Yeah, go on, sorry.
No, I just feel that why do they need to have the horse there? It's so demeaning to the horse. Right? Just run.
Yeah.
Why do they dress up like a horse? Why must they
And
carry
then why can't they be more creative now? Can they put some other animals like elephant head or...
Okay, elephant head, there'll be a conflict with Hinduism.
Okay.
And then you get cancelled, right?
Okay.
So that's very dangerous.
Yeah.
That's a reference to our TikTok that got cancelled.
But
Continue.
I also don't understand why is it called vegan? Because they thought that the original the sport is called equestrian or something.
Equestrian.
Equestrian, right? Maybe it's abusive of the horse, using it as a sport. So maybe that's why they call it vegan. But I find it very strange, right?
Yeah.
If you want to, if you don't like it, then don't watch it, lah.
No, it's
Why
not.
do you have to start something like that looks more silly than anything?
It's the hypocrisy that gets to me. It's just the vegan hypocrisy. So whenever it benefits them, they will use the animals. Like for example, right? How are you going to have, if you don't have any cars now, and you have to go back to horses, will the vegan take the horses?
True.
But they might say, like, just because you're riding a horse doesn't mean you're ill-treating it. I don't think they're against horse riding, but they're against horse racing or making the horse jump.
Using it as a sport for human entertainment, in that sense.
Yes. We got a very noisy environment today for some reason, but please bear with us.
Yeah.
What the hell is that out there? You notice that Mountbatten Road? You know, I've been here for 27 years. There's always something happening to Mountbatten Road. They're always digging something.
I mean, in Singapore, construction is the only constant. You know, we're always building and renovating something.
That's quite a Chinese thing, actually, isn't it?
What is this? This is some racial statement.
Wait, there's one comedian made a joke here, right? How do you know when a Chinese is somewhere, right? Something gets built.
Yeah.
Oh,
or all the animals disappear.
What now?
It's getting nearer to us. It's getting nearer.
Every time we start talking something, right?
Yes.
Jesus.
okay. So the thing is, right?
Let's talk to
These vegans doing the horse racing, right? Their horse racing, it's actually a terrible thing because they make fun of the horse. They put a thing there, and they
You mean a hobby horse?
Hobby horse.
Mm-hmm.
But I think talking about this group of people is that it's fine to do things whatever you want to do, right? If you choose to race on a stick with a horse head, go ahead. I think the problem is when they try to impose their moral high ground on, let's say, people who participate in the equestrian sports.
Because I think Xiong, you're right. This came from cruelty to animals. Give them enough time, they're going to try to replace all equestrian sports with a stick in a head.
Yeah, but then what's the point?
Exactly. But what is the point to a vegan?
Yeah, it's just like almost if you want to eat vegetables, just eat vegetables. Don't make fake burger patties. Right? What's the point, right? I mean, yeah, if you want to eat a vegetable or a plant-based diet, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I used to make fun of vegetarians, right? That why do they?
How do you make fun of vegetarians?
Okay, why do they need their food to look like meat? So they come up with the mock meat, mock this, and mock that. But then now that I'm doing a keto diet, right? I have a need for my food to look like carbohydrate. So now I understand why.
How do you make food look like carbohydrate?
We make those substitutes like keto bread.
Or those cauliflower rice, that kind
of thing. So our food still looks like carbohydrate, but it's not carbohydrate.
Okay, is it the look or the texture that is most important?
The taste, the look, and the texture.
But still, it's fine. I mean, you can choose to eat whatever you want to eat, but don't tell other people that you are on a lower moral ground.
I can't do that because I'm on a keto diet.
Or you're Indian. Oh, sorry.
I'm on a keto diet, so I do believe that I'm better than both of you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I value life more than the two of you. But vegan is stupid, you know.
Just recently, a couple of months ago, there was the OCEANGATE saga, where some adventurers, we call them, was journeying to the bottom of the ocean to have a look at the Titanic wreckage, but it ended in tragedy. Now, the big mystery here is, apparently, they died almost instantly, or certainly near the beginning of the voyage. But for many days, we were left on the surface, wondering where this 5-man crew was. But if they knew that they were dead, was it the US Navy? If they knew they were already dead, why keep the press in suspense?
Because I think at the same time, right, there was a refugee ship in Greece that got capsized. I think we didn't want to talk about it. About 800 poor people died.
Yes, right. I remember this.
So it's a deflection from...
So they talk about these billionaires who are lost.
So deflect from the refugee disaster.
So you mean you're trying to say is that they already knew that these people were dead at the very beginning, but they were just trying to delay the news and say that they are just missing or they haven't been able to reach them? Is that what is been surfacing right now?
You're saying that your heart sank, right? Remember? Okay. After one day? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was such a waste that your heart sank.
Yeah.
And you're saying that because of the refugee capsizing, maybe it was the deflection.
Yeah, so they showed this billionaire being trapped inside the boat.
Yeah.
When a billionaire is trapped inside a boat, it's a very sad feeling for all of us. So, and they didn't report on the refugee ship that was... It's not a refugee ship, it was a immigrant ship, I think, that got capsized in Greece.
Okay, I'm going to be careful in language here. What's the difference between a refugee and an immigrant? Well, a refugee is meant to be in danger. An immigrant is legal.
Okay, a refugee is someone
who is escaping
from
danger, right?
Yeah.
And an immigrant is someone who's escaping poverty.
Right.
Not necessarily. I mean, an immigrant is someone who has is going through using legal so-called permits to enter a country, right?
Like I'm an immigrant in your country. I'm not a refugee.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's why we're running away from the white man.
No, I was running away from black men. No, I was running towards safety.
Okay.
Right.
And you come here.
And I came here.
Okay.
when I saw this news, right? Whenever I hear people, I mean, it's not good, of course, when people die. And you know, when I look at all these, I mean, rich people or who has pensions for doing extreme things, right? Like going to the deepest ocean to look at the
adventure, right?
Yeah, I always ask why. Why is it so important for this person to go and see the wreckage of Titanic?
Yeah, could they have sent an unmanned mission down with a camera?
Yeah,
there? How they sent to Mars?
But don't forget, many people have been there and looked at this wreckage. So it's not as if there hasn't been lots of expeditions that have been to the Titanic wreckage. The thing is, this guy built a small tourist kind of vessel. That's what it's commercial. All those other guys are professional mariners, right? They've got sponsors. They come from institutions of education. But you're talking about paying clients. This is tourism.
Yeah, it's like going to the zoo or something.
Yeah, like that. So that's why he was
But
cutting.
was this submarine built in Malaysia?
Well, apparently it might have been.
Why Malaysia?
I don't know. It sounded like a Malay name. What's the name again?
Titan.
Titan.
How does Titan sound like a Malay name? Hello.
Yeah, we'll see one.
Instead, it should sound like Chinese name T.I. Tan.
T.I. Tan. Yeah, T.I. Tan. Yes. No, but when he described the submarine and the accident, how did the ship sink?
Well, it's what you call a submersible vessel, right, or a submarine.
I know.
Right, but it buckled under pressure. It was too deep. That's very deep in the ocean there. So it just basically imploded.
No, if I'm a billionaire, if one day I become a billionaire, which is not likely, right? No, and I want to make all these extreme sports or extreme attractions available to people, right? For example, Mount Everest. If I become a billionaire, I'm going to build escalator up Mount Everest.
Escalator. Okay. Oh, wait.
Yeah, then everybody can visit the Mount Everest for free.
Okay, see.
And then you build shopping malls around the Mount Everest.
Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, if you want to go up Mount Everest by some other means, right? You can take a plane up, right? Or you can take a
helicopter.
Why do you need to build your own helicopter to go up Mount Everest? You can just take the helicopters that are existing, right? So the submarines, there's so many submarines around.
No, but this is not a commercial submarine. This is meant to be a so-called touristy.
And it'd be too expensive.
Yeah.
If you try to use a U.S. Navy submarine, that ticket would be too expensive.
Why?
And it's also, I'll say that it's a vanity project, right? For the people who can afford to pay $500,000 just to get a seat there. It's almost like, why do you need to sit in the rocket to go up to space and then see emptiness? No, you pay hundreds and thousands of millions of dollars just to go space and see.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Tourists.
You don't build your own spaceship to go up. Why would this billionaire build his own spaceship?
Because they can.
Yeah.
So why would this billionaire build his own submarine?
You know, I once watched an interview in South Africa, and they were interviewing the CEO of Gardens by the Bay. We spent $1.3 billion to have a man-made waterfall and a garden, right?
1.3 billion.
Yeah, $1.3 billion.
In Singapore?
Yeah, in Singapore, the Gardens by the Bay. And the CNN guy was asking the CEO of the Gardens by the Bay, say, why do you think that is a good idea for Singapore to spend the $1 billion to build a man-made garden and a waterfall? And the CEO say, because we could.
Yes.
Okay. That's how billionaires think.
That's how they think.
Yeah. Because I could, I'm going to build something like this just to show people I could.
Yeah, but why would he go inside himself? Oh, so the guy who died is the one who built the submarine.
Yes.
One of them. Right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and you were saying something about the submarine being built wrongly or something like that?
Yes, it's made out of the wrong materials. It is not sturdy enough. It can't take the pressure.
Okay. But why did they learn from the existing submarines that are already built already?
No, actually, that guy died because he was too woke, right?
Why?
He said he doesn't want any middle-aged white engineers on the project.
Okay.
So he went and hired a lot of young, diverse people who don't know what they're doing, and now they're dead. Because if I'm going to the bottom of the ocean, the people I want around me are middle-aged white engineers. I don't want to see anyone that looks like me or you, maybe Xiong.
But you may need people like me for the circuit boards and all that?
No,
for the programming.
For IT, you'll be up there.
You'll be up there already. You would already been checked by some white middle-aged men already. And if you anyhow You'd be sent back to the call center,
No, but why did you?
right? And parts replaced in Taiwan.
But how come they are under the sea? They got danger. Aquaman never go and save them. Since you have comics, can you explain why Aquaman didn't go and save?
Well, Aquaman is probably less likely to save them than the Submariner.
Who the hell is that?
Okay, this is where us comic book guys get very offended when people don't know the difference between a DC and a Marvel character. But in defense to Xiong, what Marvel did with Submariner in the movie was quite criminal. So he doesn't know who Submariner is, but I'll show him some comics later. I will explain that.
So even there's a Marvel version for Aquaman,
Yes,
and it's called Submariner.
Submariner. And
Who
the
came first, Submariner or Aquaman?
Aquaman. But Submariner was a much better character.
Why?
Okay, I'll give you the elevator pitch to Submariner.
Okay.
Okay, listen. I knew about green policies in 1968 when I was 4 years old because of Submariner in the Fantastic Four. The Submariner was angry with oil rigs and that kind of thing. Now, when you're 4 years old, just about reading a comic, you know nothing about pollution of the oceans. But Stan Lee wrote that into a comic, and I learned about pollution in the ocean in 1968. That's how powerful Submariner was. But of course, in typical Marvel fashion, they haven't shared this with anyone. They've done the most stupid things possible. Now Aquaman is more popular than Submariner, and well, that's the history of Marvel movies for you.
I think that's why I prefer reading Japanese comics like Doraemon. You know? How come the Angmo comics are so heavy on the topics?
No. If you're talking
Why
about,
can't they just draw something that is very fun, like Doraemon, pick up something from the pocket and then go somewhere else?
Xiong, you don't understand what you've done there. The number one superhero for me when I was a kid was Marine Boy. He was Japanese. He was
Why was Marine Boy Japanese?
I don't know why he was produced by Japanese.
Oh, because the Marine Boy cut the fish and then make sushi. He dives into the sea and then catch the fish.
He used to ride a dolphin, and his girlfriend, I think, was a girl named Maria.
What, he used dolphin to make sushi?
He ride the dolphin. And he had a boomerang. He used to throw the boomerang. So when I did my comic, when I did Singapore Sling, I made the sling crest because of Marine Boy. So you got this.
Oh.
Right? So maybe if this guy who went down in the submarine, knew a bit more like Marine Boy, maybe he wouldn't have done what he did.
But I learned something from this Aquaman. I learned that seahorse can be used to ride inside the ocean.
But you're not from the Finnish hobby horse riding competition.
What about seahorses?
So yeah, that's why you have to use a stick with the seahorse.
Seahorse too smaller.
Okay.
Once again, we've come to that section where we vent, we cancel, we put the world to rights. Has to go. And what say you, Dan Raj?
Yeah, in Singapore there is this culture. In a taxi stand, you can only have 2 or 3 taxis parked there. Okay? So some taxi stands are meant for only 2 taxis. So near my house, there's a taxi stand that is only for 2 taxis. And every time there will be a warden standing at the taxi stand and making sure that only 2 taxis are there. You can see the picture.
You're sure? You mean if another third taxi just tries to join at the back, he would tell them to move on?
So that's his only job. So I was wondering what kind of a miserable, pathetic existence is this? That's his job, to stand there and make sure the third car doesn't come in.
That's how we increase employment. Right?
Yeah, but that's not the way, right? I mean, what is he going to tell his grandchildren? Okay, today I stopped the third taxi. Yeah, there are people dying of cancer. There are people being killed because of carbohydrates. But me, no third taxi. What kind of a fuck life is that?
Could he be also there to stop people from just anyhow parking?
You have private cars, not taxis.
Yeah, but to have that guy stand there and that's his only job, to look after this stretch of sacred road, it doesn't make sense, right? Is this the most important thing in the world?
And also, you do get cameras and things like that. So if you do it, you can get booked, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the camera.
It's not the most important thing, but it's necessary in this instance. Probably somebody has complained.
Okay, there was once, right?
Yeah.
A guy was chasing me to beat me up.
Okay.
Okay.
Not surprising.
Yeah. And I was running away from him. Okay. When I was running, right, I called the police. Okay. Of course, this guy was a drug addict and all that, so he couldn't run fast and all that. I was on a keto diet, so I outran him. Now, the police took 2 hours to come to me.
Okay.
2 hours. But if I told them that there's a car parked in the third, the third taxi there,
Different now. You don't tell police.
they would have sent a guy to stand there.
That's LTA versus police.
Yeah, correct. So if they have the money to spend on this piece of shit standing there, okay, why not use that money to have the police respond to you and faster?
No, when you call police, do you tell them your name?
Yes.
Then they know already. You are not important.
No, but
If you say you're like Alan Tan Chow, they'll
no.
come with you next.
My friend told me you must say that you're a foreigner being attacked by Singaporeans.
Okay.
Then the police will come immediately.
Especially white men. If you say you're a white man,
Correct. When you are Singaporean being chased and your life in danger,
they ask you wait for 3 days, 3
they
business
came
days.
2 hours later. Then they came to me. They were not even. I was not even there when they came, and they called me. And then I told them to go and check the cameras because the cameras showed that the guy was chasing me. They said they can't do it. They said the cameras are not working.
Okay.
Then they have cameras there for what? But anyway, this guy who's standing in the road and his only job is to make sure the third taxi doesn't come and park there has to go.
Jerry, you drive, right?
Yeah.
And you have kids, right?
Yeah.
Many kids, right?
Yeah.
So, have you ever drove to pick up your kids after school in the past?
Yes.
And do you just park your car on the roadside and then just wait and inconvenience other road users?
I have done that.
Okay, bro.
Okay.
I think carefully, bro. This might make you get deported.
So you have done that, right?
Many years ago, yes.
And you are one of those people who contribute to this very serious issue that we have in Singapore.
What's the issue?
The issue is that we have very small roads. Sometimes we only have like 2 lanes on the road. And after school hours, you have these parents who will drive their cars, sometimes very expensive cars, and then block the whole left lane of the road just to wait for their precious kids. Okay, don't get me wrong, okay? It's fine, let's say sometimes it's raining heavily and then you don't want your kids to get sick. And then we understand. The other road users will understand.
But they have this thing called a school bus, right?
Not everyone likes to take a school bus,
Mm.
right? Because Singapore, we are very rich and the kids are very precious.
So much time.
Of course, they don't have to work. I mean, Singaporeans, we are number 3. We are globally number 3 to have people who pretend to work very hard.
Is it?
There's a list like that. You go and Google, say we are number 3 on the list of workers who look very busy but don't actually work very hard.
Okay, so when I was doing my OJT,
Okay.
right, I'll share this story with you, okay? When I was doing my OJT, during my NTU days, I got a E.
Okay.
Okay, I almost failed. If I got F, right, I would have to repeat the entire 6 months all over again. So we were sent to a factory to do some shit job, right? So I didn't work. I just put my head down and there was no work to do. But my friend is always working. He's so busy guy. He'll go around, and then after the whole thing finished, he got an A. So I asked him, "How do you get an A? There's no job to do. How do you work so hard?" He said, "No, bro. I was just pretending." The whole time, right? He was just doing this, talking to people. He does it the whole day, What amazing! Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you just wasted 1 minute of my time listening to you. Right? So,
Are you pretending to be hardworking now?
yes.
No, you see, you got the sleeves rolled up.
Yeah.
That is a sign of hard working. Just
Hardworking.
roll up your sleeves. People think you're doing something.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I'm wearing short sleeve.
correct.
And I don't want to deny that, just now talking about these parents, I don't want to deny that they love their kids. Right? Maybe out of love, they say, I have to go to the roadside and then I'll pick them up, so that they will not get the sun and the rain.
If they love the kids,
Yes.
then why they get divorced?
No. But you will think that they love their kids very much. But their love for the kids disappear almost immediately when you put the traffic warden by the side of the road. Right? When the traffic warden appear, suddenly their love for the kids disappear and they'll go to the car park and park there and then wait for their kids. Okay? No, so come on. don't inconvenience other road users just because you want to be, you're so lazy to park your car and then walk to the school to pick up your kids. Right?
Also, that's lazy lah.
Yeah, so they're lazy, and then because they'll say that no, I don't want my kids to suffer under the hot sun, then what's paying some saman, and then just park there lah. Why care about the traffic warden? So
why is that piece of shit that we talked just now
Yeah.
waiting at the taxi stand and not at the school?
no, it could be the same kind. Maybe his morning shift is at the taxi stand, then afternoon shift is at the school. So it could be the same person that we're talking about, right? So, but parents or any father or mother
Okay.
who does that inconvenience other road users,
Yeah.
and then insist on stopping their cars on the roadside to pick up their kids and not caring about other road users has to go.
All you viewers at home have probably noticed this character sat in front of us for all these podcasts. This is Captain Marvel, the original. Okay, he's the reason why I have yellow hair.
Wait, this is Captain Marvel.
This is Captain Marvel.
So I'm not a big comic fan. But I thought Captain Marvel is girl. This is the guy, right?
Yes. This is why I'm so upset. Right. This is possibly one of Marvel's best superhero. Right? Just imagine, in the mid-1970s, he couldn't beat Thanos. You all heard of Thanos, right?
Yes.
Avengers? Sorry, not Avengers, Infinity, what it was called?
Infinity War, yeah.
Endgame, right?
Endgame,
Right.
yeah.
You're talking about the mid-1970s. This guy couldn't beat Thanos and had to go and get the Avengers to do it.
So then he transitioned into female.
No, all of that nonsense came back in the 80s, right? I stopped collecting Marvel comics in 1979. So anything that comes after 1979 doesn't count. Right? So in the mid-1970s, I already knew that this guy was amazing. So imagine if Marvel had employed me. I could have told them, go to the Captain Marvel saga of the mid-1970s, and I could have told you to make that movie years ago. But they wasted all that time, then replaced him with a woman, and she's the most hated superhero in the comic world.
First of all, what's the difference between Captain Planet and Captain Marvel?
That kind of question in a comic convention can get him killed.
I still remember the Captain Planet song.
Captain
Planet, he's a hero.
Captain Planet, he's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and that was a ripoff. That came from Captain Scarlet.
Huh?
Captain Scarlet, he's the one who knows the Mr. On game.
Yes, Captain Scarlet from 1960.
Captain Scarlet, what does Captain Scarlet do here?
Scarlett Johansson.
Who was actually an Avengers, funny enough, right? But anyway, I digress. Let me tell you how good this character is, right? I can give you the elevator pitch. You know what the elevator pitch is? When somebody tells you something in less than 30 seconds and you can see how good the concept is, right? Listen to this. This is the story of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel came from the Kree race, which was a superior civilization to Earth. He was sent here on a reconnaissance mission because they were going to take over the planet Earth. He fell in love with humans and then became our greatest defender. Right. That is a very good story, right? Now, for some reason, Marvel couldn't accept that. They killed him in the comic, changed him into a woman and did some nonsense. Makes me very, very angry.
No, I don't believe you. If he is so great, why is he still only a captain? Because our Lee Hsien Loong became a BG,
Yes, right.
Brigadier General in 8 years,
Okay.
No,
and he's only a captain if he's so great.
I can explain that.
Captain is given in Singapore, right? Captain is given rank given to people who are not going to progress anymore.
Okay, listen, I can explain that. First of all, he can never be a Brigadier Marvel because he comes from an alien civilization. They didn't have that rank because he is white. The aristocracy on Kree are blue. He can never rise. So he's like a Kree Apu Nene. Understand?
Talking about you.
So he goes around saying there's blue privilege, blue privilege. Blue
Yes, correct. You may have saw the blue people in Guardians of the Galaxy.
So he reported to Smurf.
So this,
No, he was before Smurf. Smurf came after him.
okay.
Right?
I
So,
thought Papa John's like very old.
What Papa
He
Jones?
should have been born like 1,000 years ago, something like that.
who's Papa Joe?
Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf, Papa Joe.
No, don't get
Smurf,
confused. The Smurfs are a different universe. We're talking about the Marvel
Okay,
universe here.
so in the Marvel universe, right?
Mm.
These blue people,
Mm.
why didn't they make the white people more inclusive? Why did they become woke and be nice to the white people?
This is yellow lah, not white lah. Oh, he's white ah.
He's
Not everybody's yellow,
he's
bro.
white.
Okay.
So his hair is yellow, but his skin is pink. Actually, his hair used to be white, but then he went through a metamorphosis and his hair turned yellow. See, that's the beauty of comics. In 1974, I went and asked my teacher, I think I was about 10. I asked my teacher, what does metamorphosis mean? And she says, Jerry, why are you asking me questions like that? I said, oh, because Captain Marvel just went through a metamorphosis. And she goes, oh, your comic is very clever. It means change. Right? That's how good. I could read before I went to school because of comics. I failed my O-levels, but that's besides the point. Right? He, right, is the single greatest superhero known to mankind.
I thought Superman.
No, him, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, right? So, Stan Lee, rest in peace. But for Marvel movies and all of Marvel modern personnel, especially the guy at the top.
Okay, what if he didn't become a woman and became a transgender woman? Would they be happy?
Why would I be happy about him being transgender? That's even worse.
So he has become from Captain Marvel. Now he's known as Captain No Marbles.
Not Marvel.
I thought Captain No Marbles.
Yeah, but I thought the other character, Captain Marvel, actually refers to Stan Lee. Because he is Marvel, right?
Yes.
I thought the character was named after him.
No, actually, the name, you heard the movie Shazam? Shazam
Shazam,
is the
yeah.
original Captain Marvel.
Huh?
Oh.
Yes, his
Shazam
name
is
was Captain
DC,
Marvel.
right?
Yeah, that's DC. Wow, Seong showing his knowledge. He was the original Captain Marvel, but I think there was some copyright mix-up. Then he became known as Shazam, and Stan Lee saw that he could take that character name, and then he named Marvel.
He
Captain
appropriate the
Marvel.
name Captain
He
Marvel.
appropriated the name,
Oh, okay.
right? And for the process, I don't know who's responsible for this. Not Kevin Feige, Zabi, I'm not sure. But whoever's the head at Marvel for doing that to Captain Marvel has to go. Thanks so much for watching the Unfiltered podcast. Remember to hit that notification bell, subscribe, and most importantly, like, as that really helps our channel to grow. We'll see you again real soon.